Hi friends, I'm so glad you're here for some more stories with Miss Suzy. We're gonna be talking about, you guessed it, trains! I'm so excited to talk about trains. They're so cool. What sound does a train make? Can you make that sound? Choo-choo! Yep. There are lots of different kinds of trains too. There are freight trains, steam trains, electric trains, passenger trains, monorails, maglev trains. Have you ever heard of those? Those go really fast. Metro trains, those are subway trains. Have you ever ridden a train before? Have you? I can't hear you. Oh, well. You're in for a treat because the first story that we're gonna read today, you guys, is this one called How to Train a Train. It's a really good one. All right, let's get our listening ears ready, go. And then we gotta go zip it, lock it, put it in my pocket. How to Train a Train by Jason Carter Eaton, illustrated by John Rocco, and published by Candlewick Press. So you want a pet train? Well, of course you do. Trains make awesome pets. They're fun, playful, and extremely useful. Lucky for you, this handy guidebook contains everything you need to know to choose, track, and train your very own pet train. Ready? Then let's head out and find some trains. Different trains live in different places. Freight trains live in the countryside and travel in herds. Monorail trains live in the city and travel alone. Early steam engines pretty much just sit in museums. Have you decided which sort of train you'd like? Great! Now you need to catch one. There are lots of ways to catch a train. Some people will corner it. Others might use a big net to trap it. Still others will run the track into quicksand. True, these methods all work, but I'm going to show you the best way. First, get up really early in the morning and find a good hiding spot close to some trains. Now, the hard part. Sit quietly and wait. And wait. And wait some more. As the sun rises, the trains will begin to stir and start their engines. Watch them work and play. It's only natural that you'll want to take home all the trains. But don't just grab the first one you see. Take your time and choose the one that's right for you. Got one? Time to make your move. Send a puff of smoke high into the air. Perfect! You've got the train's attention! Look. If you brought any coal with you, now would be the time to offer it. Try saying, "Oh my, what a handsome train you are." Next, make the call of the wild train. Chugga, 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 chugga. Choo-choo! Well done! Here it comes! How will you know if the train you caught is the one? Don't worry, you'll know. Once you get your train home, you'll want to give it a name. Some popular train names are Milo, Morgan, Nathan, Pushkin, Smokey, Pickle Puss, Captain Fuffanu, Little Miss Muffinhead, Sir Chugs-a-Lot. Of course, you can name your train whatever you like. Sparkles. Don't worry if it seems shy or scared at first. A train needs time to adjust to new surroundings. A warm bath can help calm a nervous train. Very few trains can resist a good read aloud. If your train has trouble falling asleep at night, play soft locomotion sounds. Rocka, rocka, click, clack. Rocka, rocka, click, clack. This is an old conductor trick That'll give your train good dreams. Spend as much time as you can getting to know your train. Does it prefer going fast or slow? Does it like to fetch? How does it feel about tunnels and bridges? Want to teach your train a few tricks? Easy as pie. Start with a simple trick, then move on to something a bit harder. By now, your train should be willing to let you go for a ride. But start out slow. Try riding in the caboose at first. Trains are very particular about who sits in the engineer's car. Good manners are important. Train your train not to leap up on people, and always wipe its wheels before going indoors. Of course, your train can't go everywhere with you. Out on the open road, you're sure to pass other kids with their pet trains, planes, trucks, or submarines. This is a great chance for both of you to make new friends. Congratulations! You've given your train fuel, water, a good home, and plenty of friendship and fun. Everything it needs to be happy. How will you know if your train is happy? Don't worry, you'll know. The end. I hope you liked that silly story about how to have a pet train. What kind of pet train would you have, and what would you name it? I kind of liked Little Miss Muffin Head. I thought that was funny. And Pickle Puss. What great funny names for trains. Do you guys have any toy trains at home? I have a cool toy train. Here's mine. Here it is. It looks kind of like a steam engine. Yeah, and here's a different kind of car. Look at that. That's pretty neat. The next story that we're going to read tells us a little bit more about trains. It's called I Love Trains. Are you ready? Get your ears ready. Go pop, pop, and go zip it, lock it, put it in my pocket. I Love Trains by Philemon Sturgis, illustrated by Sherry Halpern, published by HarperCollins. Trains, trains, trains. I like trains. I like trains that hoot and roar as they rumble by my door. First come engines, big and strong, pulling lots of cars along. Some cars keep things from the rain. Some cars carry trucks or grain. Or cows, or hogs. Or gas, or logs. Some carry steel, some carry scrap. Or secret stuff that's under wrap. Ooh, I wonder what that is. But the best car's at the end. And as the train goes round the bend, I wave. I'm glad to see the car that carries Dad. Trains, trains, trains. I love trains. The end. Whoa! Did you know that there were that many different kind of train cars? Wow, so there was the engine, and then the tender, then there were box cars and hoppers, gondola cars and tankers. Wow, and then what was the very last car on a train? What's it called? A caboose! Yeah! Good job! If you said that, you were right, a caboose. That's my favorite car too. All right, I'm gonna need your help. What sound does a train make? Can you make it really loud? Right, that's the sound it makes. And I'm gonna need your help. Can you go chugga 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 whoop whoop whoop? Can you do it? Great! Okay, get it ready because for our next story, you're gonna need to do that, okay? So let's get our ears ready. Pop, pop. And then we gotta go zip it, lock it, put it in my pocket. Railroad Hank by Lisa Moser, illustrated by Benji Davis, published by Random House. Railroad Hank and his fine little train rolled down the track. Chugga, 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 whoop, whoop, whoop. Railroad Hank stopped at Happy Flap Farm to talk with Missy May.
I'm headed up the mountain to see Granny Bet,
said Railroad Hank.
She's feeling kind of blue.
A plate of scrambled eggs always perks me up, said Missy May. Take some of my eggs to Granny Bet. Railroad Hank rubbed his chin.
But where do you get eggs?
From my hens, of course, said Missy May.
Okie dokie, said Railroad Hank.
Wait, yelled Missy May. Take the eggs, not the hens.
Chugga, 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 whoop, whoop, whoop.
Railroad Hank stopped at Dandelion Dairy to talk with Country Carl.
I'm headed up the mountain to see Granny Bet, said Railroad Hank. She's feeling kind of blue. A glass of creamy milk always makes me feel better, said Country Carl. Take some of my milk to Granny Bet.
Railroad Hank rubbed his chin.
But where do you get milk?
From my cows, of course, said Country Carl.
Okie dokie, said Railroad Hank.
Wait, yelled Country Carl. Take the milk, not the cows. Chugga, 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 whoop, whoop, whoop. Railroad Hank stopped at Fish Jump Pond to talk with Reelman Sam.
I'm headed up the mountain to see Granny Bet, said Railroad Hank. She's feeling kind of blue.
A sizzling pan of fresh fish always tickles my toes, said Reelman Sam. Take some of my fish to Granny Bet. Railroad Hank rubbed his chin.
Well, where do you get fish?
From my pond, of course, said Reelman Sam. Uh-oh.
Okie dokie, said Railroad Hank.
Wait, yelled Reelman Sam. Take the fish, not the pond. Chugga, 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 whoop, whoop, whoop. Railroad Hank stopped at Applesauce Hill to talk with Cinnamon Cobbler.
I'm headed up the mountain to see Granny Bet, said Railroad Hank. She's feeling kind of blue.
A crunchy red apple always sweetens my day, said Cinnamon Cobbler. Take some of my apples to Granny Bet. Railroad Hank rubbed his chin.
But where do you get the apples?
From my trees, of course, said Cinnamon Cobbler.
Okie dokie, said Railroad Hank.
Wait, yelled Cinnamon Cobbler. Take the apples, not the trees.
Chugga, 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 whoop, whoop, whoop.
Railroad Hank chugged up the mountain to see Granny Bet.
We heard you were feeling kind of blue. Everyone sent something to help, said Railroad Hank.
He threw open the train doors one by one. Chickens squawked, cows stampeded, water sloshed, apples rolled. And Granny Bet looked at all the chaos. She hooted and snorted and slapped her leg. She shook until her bonnet slid sideways and her shoelaces popped.
Granny Bet,
cried Railroad Hank, are you still blue? Oh no, said Granny Bet giggling. I'm right dandy.
What fixed you? Asked Railroad Hank. Was it the eggs, or the milk, or the fish, or the apples?
It was you, said Granny Bet, and all the friends you brought to visit. Now let's have a friend celebrating glad you came, I'm all better now kind of day.
Okie dokie,
cheered Railroad Hank, and he threw his hat in the air. As the sun set, Railroad Hank helped everyone find a seat on his fine little train. What a wonderful surprise, said Granny Bet.
Now I'm just gonna sit and relax and dream all about the fun we had. Railroad Hank rubbed his chin. But where do you sit and relax? On my porch swing, of course, said Granny Bet. Okie dokie, said Railroad Hank. Chugga, 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 whoop, whoop, whoop. Look who's sitting. The end.
That Railroad Hank, what a silly guy. Ah, I hope you enjoyed story time today, friends. It was so silly. I wonder if you have ever been to the Unicoi County Public Library. If you have, you would know why we chose to do train stories. You know why? It's because it used to be a train station. Isn't that cool? So, we have story time on Tuesdays at 10:30. If you ever want to join us, it's outside at our cool train station. Sometimes we even see trains go by and we can wave at them and usually they'll blow their horn. I love you. Thanks for joining us today. See you next time.